This is Lansdowne Road, the voice of the fans, and this is the League of Ireland review, Matchday 24, with a little bit of European football sprinkled on top. David Dunn here, joined by Conor McAvoy. You're very welcome to another episode here on Lansdowne Roar. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button on the video. It really does help. Also, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter accounts. And also, you can head over to TikTok because we got stuff going on there, apparently. I don't know. Conor does my bit, so I just let him run that. It's not right, Conor. You're down with the kids.
Always picking up for your slack.
He's not wrong. Also, head over to lansdowneroad.ie. That is lansdowneroad.ie for opinion. Especially loads of stuff over there on the League of Ireland. We've got a great team of writers over there at lansdowneroad.ie. And if you're listening to an audio version of this over lansdowneroad.ie or wherever you get your podcast from, please do give us a 5-star review. It really does help. Anyway, Conor, how are you? This is the second time we've tried to record this. Conor put it on pause and he forgot to unpause it. I know. This is what happens when you have the children in charge. Conor, how are you?
I don't like liars. That's one thing I don't like in life is liars. No, but I'm grand. Good to be back speaking about the League of Ireland. To get back recording after your disappearance there for a while, and me and Martin picking up for your slack in every aspect. So, yeah, it's good to be back. How are you?
Grand. Really enjoying the Club World Cup now. I wasn't. I watched absolutely none of it. I saw the clips though. I know you watched the final. I saw the clips yesterday or today of Trump on stage with Cole Palmer. Just the man is just so awkward, isn't he? Trump, that is.
Yeah. Well, Cole Palmer is awkward as well. So it was funny. Like it was a funny interaction, and just funny of him just being on the stage when they were lifting the trophy, waiting for him to get off the stage, and he just didn't get off. But it was funny. I've got a few probably DAZN were loving it. It got them lots of attention and clips online.
Yeah, because they were showing for free DAZN, weren't they? But apparently, I saw there, Paul Little, friend of the pod, has a brilliant book out, by the way. Shattered Dreams, Sliding Doors, brilliant book about the 1980 World Cup 1982 campaign. There is an interview with him, by the way, if you go through the archives here in the YouTube channel. But he's on Twitter, and he was saying that he tried to cancel DAZN, like anyone would, and it's taken 30 days to cancel DAZN, which is interesting. But I watched none of it. I had no interest in any of it whatsoever. I think there's too much football on the telly.
No, so, you don't watch football anyway, so it doesn't make much a difference.
I am football, Conor. I am at football.
Yeah.
I live football.
And Dave, in bigger and better things in life, there's something more important than all of this. It's about voting for Lansdowne Roar and Rep Tracker.
Yes, with crudely edited graphic there by Conor. But that's right, calling out for your help. We're asking for you to nominate Rep Tracker and Lansdowne Roar for the FCAs. What are the FCAs, Conor?
The Football Content Awards. You think you'd know that if you would have watched the video the other day with me and Martin?
I do actually know, but you see, this is called...
no, it's not. It's you being you trying to be. Yeah, it's trying to you pretending.
Just passing it over. It's what you do in America. But anyway, you can nominate both platforms in the following categories. You will have to do 2 separate forms for both platforms. Please, Best in Social, Creators, Rep Tracker, Best in Social, Organization, Rep Tracker, Best Podcast, International, Lansdowne Roar.
Yeah. The link will be in the description. You better nominate us. But yeah, hopefully we'll get selected to be one of the nominations, Dave, and then all our fans can go and actually properly vote for us. It's a very seems to be a very long formatted way of voting for someone for an award or nominating someone for an award, but it does the job.
As the other fella, as the other podcast gone for put that up update, because I don't want to be accused of copying them now,
I don't know. I don't know if any podcasts are. I don't
know. That would be copying people now.
Yeah, we don't want to be copying people. But anyway, just nominate us if you can. If you have 2 minutes to nominate us, and then hopefully we will get nominated to be up for a vote, and then we can get. I think it goes to 50-50 between whoever their judges are, and then fan votes. Hopefully, we do well then.
Yeah. We are a fledgling podcast. We are. We've been doing this a little while, but I think this is the first year where we properly gone for it, Conor, isn't it? Like we're doing things the way we want to do it here on
Yep.
Lansdowne More. So do give us a vote. We very much appreciate it. Right, let's get into a bit of League of Ireland action. We're going to start with the European Games. Of course, Shelburne in the All Ireland. Don't call it All Ireland. Jesus. The All.
Why can't you?
Now, we don't want to. I mean, it's just a couple of days after your public holiday, Conor, so we don't want to upset the other folk on the island. But there you go. Shelburne beating Linfield 1-0 at Tolka Park. To be fair, I can't really complain with that result, really, can you? Because, I mean, they were just so much better than Linfield. Obviously, the second leg is going to be played on Wednesday up in Windsor Park, but they really did batter them, didn't they? Shame about goal.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the only negative really Shels fans can take from that whole game. They absolutely battered Linfield, to say in the slightest. It was a complete domination for 90 minutes, 95 minutes of just Shels domination. And it showed. I think it was a bit of a Shels performance to show that they are a level above Linfield. I know Linfield was their first real competitive game in the season so far, but I still think no matter when they would have played them, it would have been Shels dominating possession. Meepo's goal was a lovely finish. I'm sure Shels are quite disappointed. It's the only thing they just scored one, because Linfield are still in the tie, and momentum was a massive thing. And if they get one goal on Wednesday night at Winter Park, puts them right in it. But they'll be playing on a bigger pitch. Obviously, Winter Park would be a probably more slick, crispier surface that actually might suit Shels a bit, because they're a better footballing team. And even when Linfield might have spells of having more possession than what they had in the first leg, I think the likes of Meepo and Harry Wood on the counter attack will be very, very dangerous, because their pace and power and their ball carrying ability will probably frighten life in the Linfield defence. And I think it's hopefully going to be another Shels victory on Wednesday. Obviously, the main thing is just getting through, but I think they have the ability to go there and put Linfield to the sword, really. I don't want to sound too confident. I'm not going to say they're going to go there and win, but I think they have the ability to go there, win, secure themselves in the next round. And the most important round to win in all qualifiers for your Shels, your Linfields, any other team starting in the first round, is winning that first Champions League round, because it guarantees you that playoff spot in the Conference League at minimum. Like, they're going to the second round of Champions League, and if you lose in the second round of Champions League, you're guaranteed at least a Conference League playoff spot. And it's ideal for your Shels, because it makes them a lot more money, puts them one step away from qualifying for group stage football, which is what every Irish team dreams of, and they well have the ability to go and do so. And I guess Carabag, if they beat them, which is obviously a tough tie, but in European football, you never know what happens.
No, that's it. Especially if you make home advantage count, which they got the win, but they really hammered them, hitting the post and everything. Like, it really went. It was a lovely finish as well. It was kind of interesting when Dan McDonald, who was at the game, and he was friend of the pod, and he was saying that you're watching video clips of the last time Tolka Park were in Europe. When Shelburne were in Europe at Tolka Park, and something Tolka Park, and he was saying, like, you're watching clips of the past with the ground looking even better than it is now. Like, it's a bit more run down now, isn't it? Because obviously, haven't had money, they haven't had any sort of improvements to it whatsoever. No facility, the facilities just haven't. They've been in the first division for a number of years, and so you really hope that you'd love to see that money just go into that ground, wouldn't you? A nice little run, and just see Tolka Park get a little bit of paint.
I think it will. Yeah, I think it will anyway. I think it's just naturally going to happen with the progression of the club, the way it's at. But that'll just speed things up, wouldn't it? And it might be, I think it might extend it, and hopefully, because the thing is, it's a lovely in terms of old-fashioned, your traditional League of Ireland ground. It is nice in that aspect, but then it's just touched up around the sides and make sure everything's probably safe, and fans are going to have a safe fan environment, and will be flying.
No, absolutely. Next game, of course, is Pats here against, how do you say, Helgeman. Sounds like a tennis player. 1-0 winners over Helgeman. Not quite as impressive, Pats, but they got the job done. And, of course, they have a second leg there as well. They're just struggling in all fronts of Pats, really, aren't they, at the moment?
I actually thought it was a really enjoyable game. I thought, like Shels, I thought they dominated again, and I thought they actually played very nice football. I thought it was probably the best performance Barry Bagley's had in Pat's performance so far, and I think Pat's did look more up for it, probably because when Europe naturally kicks in, it kind of puts a new lease of life into some players. And I thought they actually done well. I thought they were very good. They were by far the better team. They showed their levels above Hegelman. God knows how they only scored one goal. But I think Stephen Kenny seemed very happy in the end. They got the goal. You could see him hugging and kissing and high fiving everyone on the well, I wasn't kissing, but like you know what I mean.
Steady.
Everyone after game on the Pats sideline and all the players that he seemed very happy just to get the win and probably get back to winning ways and get the confidence booster winning the game. And like I think Melia would probably be a bit disappointed he didn't score a couple of chances, but you could see how good he is as a player. His ability to do other things, throw himself about and make things happen, just shows how classy of a footballer he is. And then Aidan Keena coming on and scoring the winning penalty was absolutely brilliant penalty, and it would have been a real disappointment for Pats. Probably would have been their season summed up if they would have not won that game or even missed that penalty, because it's been a nightmare season for Pats. But I think that win will probably set them on the right foot. And I think they'll go to Lithuania next week. And I don't see them losing the game. Whether they win or not, I don't know. But I just think they're too good of a side, especially with Stephen Kenny in Europe. He's probably the most experienced Irish manager in Europe. I don't know, ever. Could you say that as a saying? Because of what he done in Europa League with Dundalk, or probably the most amount of experience, I'd say. Even Bradley's had the experience as well, but I'd say probably the two of them.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Bradley does.
probably Bradley, which because he's been there longer at Rovers. But yeah, so I would probably say Pats will be very confident heading to Lithuania next week. They seem like the type of group of players that thrive in that European environment. Your technically smaller but gifted footballers are that sometimes struggle in the hustle and bustle in the League of Ireland seem to shine when the Europe kicks in. So I expect them to go to Lithuania next week, and I think with their pace, especially in the counter-attack, whether it's Power and Mulroney in the wings or Power and Elbazetti or Elbazetti and Mulroney, I think they'll cause serious damage. And then when you have Mason Melia with his ability to hold up the ball and back into defenders and win free kicks will relieve so much pressure. So I expect both Irish sides to progress. I think it would be a massive disappointment if one of the two goes out or both of the two goes out. Obviously, Shels wouldn't go out if they lost it going to the Conference League, but it would be a massive disappointment. And I do think that they've more than enough, and I think for Pats as well, it'd probably lead to more investment in the side because they haven't really signed anyone this summer transfer window.
No, absolutely. Let's move it on to the results here. Bohs 3-0 winners over Galway United. Of course, 3 games over the last weekend to sort of make up for the old European games, if that makes sense. Waterford 2-0 winners over Cork City and Sligo Rovers. Shocking. Derry City with a 2-0 win. That was on the Saturday, on the 12th, the old 12th of July. Did you see, all joking aside, did you see some of the videos of some of the lads in Turkey doing a march?
In Turkey?
Yeah.
No, I didn't say in Turkey. I thought I saw joined by people in the north.
Yeah, no, well, like Protestants on holiday in Turkey wearing the Rangers gear and then doing a march, and someone had packed white gloves with their flutes. I swear, I'm not making it up.
I'll have to look after this. I actually didn't see that. I'll have to look up after.
I swear to God. I mean, you know,
Brians would be dangerous.
I'm not saying that.
But anyway, into what's the first game there? Bohs
against Galway United on the 11th of July there. So 3-0 winners. Douglas James Taylor opening scoring there in the 47th minute. James Clark on the 61st and 72nd minute there. 3 cracking goals.
Yeah, it was a real good tie to have on Virgin Media on the TV. The first half was a bit boring in all honesty, but then the second half, Bohs just came to life and completely tore Galway apart. And I've said the masterclass in midfield from Dawson DeVoy was absolutely brilliant to watch. He was showing his class as probably the most informed player in the league at the moment, or not, if not most informed, definitely the best midfielder in the league at the moment. His ability to control a game, which is absolute, is magic at times. Really, his ability, if he wants to keep the game at his pace, he keeps it at his pace, or if he wants to speed the game up, he speeds the game up, and it seemed he puts everything into gear for Bohs. And then, yeah, Douglas James Taylor with his first goal at Daly Mount Park was an absolute cracker. You can see why they brought him in. I know he was out of contract, but he Drogheda lost him, and he was a huge asset to bring in. He's a serious striker. He offers them a lot, whether it's on or off the ball, and then you see that ability in front of goal, and like from the distance he got that, and Evan Watson goal, no chance. And then the two James Clark goals, probably one of the most improved players in the league this season. It looked like he was going to go to Grimsby over staying at Bohs, and whatever way Bohs have convinced him to stay, hopefully maybe that Oasis jersey money might play a part in that. When if you see the numbers, their books have gone up since they've started selling the, I don't know if you'd say gimmicky jerseys, because I think they're too good of quality to be gimmicky.
Loads of them. Did you see the amount of them in the ground? Ground there, all the light blue ones.
Or even people in people going to the Oasis concert. I know people based in England who bought the Oasis Bohs jersey to go to the concert with, and it's genius marketing. They're making an absolute bombing off it, and it'll only improve the footballing team on and off the pitch. And yeah, but just on James Clark, he's absolutely brilliant. The fella's improved so much, his ability just to make things happen. The 2 goals he scored were absolutely outrageous, and yeah, he's definitely one of the most improved players in the league this season. He's been a real star for Bohs, and Bohs starting to look a real excellent side. Alan Reynolds, probably the biggest turnaround from a manager all this season. He seems to be a real like a player's favourite in terms of manager. He seems to be a very good man manager. He seems to have them in gear, tactically set up very well, and you can tell the style of footballer he really wants on his side. And I know they're still a bit off Rovers in terms of catching them, but hopefully they can maintain this run they're on and hopefully challenge Rovers, because there's nothing more we not like than Rovers just running away with the league, because we want a title race. And I know a lot of people dislike Bohs, which is a common thing, but I think most people want Bohs and Rovers to at least have some sort of a race, or if Derry can come into it as well. But yeah, what the Bohs are achieving at the moment. But Galway are in a real tough position. Like, they're just losing game after losing game, or drawing games when they shouldn't draw.
Now on that table,
And
man.
Moses Dyer gone. Obviously, that's 10 goals. He was the top goal scorer in the league.
Yeah,
It's going to be very hard to make up for his goals, and you'd wonder, will Galway have to try and strengthen massively, or will they get dragged into a possible relegation playoff? Or they thought they would have been fighting for Europe this season, but maybe they'll end up getting drawn into a race to get relegated. But I don't know. Well, it won't finish bottom, but for that playoff spot. So yeah, Galway have a lot to improve on come these next few weeks.
Absolutely. Next one up, we're going to talk about Sligo Rovers. 2-0 winners over Derry City. Bit of a shock that. Sligo Rovers, you talk about a turnaround as well. Patrick McLean on the 19th minute, and then Wilson Waweru. I'm probably butchering that name.
Yeah, that's right.
Just on the stroke of half time. Yeah, I mean, Derry City are a team that have impressed me. In the early parts of the season, thought they weren't really getting the just desserts, but blown away by Sligo Rovers. 2-0, done at half time. Absolutely amazing, but a massive blow there for Derry City. Real opportunity to catch up on the league leaders, Shamrock Rovers. Blown.
To be honest with you, Dave, I'm not surprised. And it's not that it's not about Derry having to put in a better performance. It's just Sligo are that good. As simple as Sligo are a really good footballing side with a top class manager in John Russell, with excellent players, young players that are technically superb. The ability they have on the ball, off the ball, and they're not just like, I'd say, like your St. Pats, who are as good as they are on the ball, off the ball, they do struggle. You watch Sligo, you'll see Owen Elding, you'll see Jada Kiki, you'll see all their lads, or whether it's Lombato coming off the bench, they literally run themselves into the ground. It's not just what they show on the ball. And Sligo are full value for the 3 points. Like, they should have got the 3 points in all reality against Shamrock Rovers last weekend. They should have won that game, and I'm glad they got their 3 points this weekend. They're starting to come up the table. I thought Jadakiki was brilliant in the middle of the park. I think Conor Reynolds at right back is possibly Sligo Rovers' next Seamus Coleman. He's getting better and better every week. His ability on the ball, composure, and his ability off the ball. But he was very, very solid having to go up against Michael Duffy, who is one of the best players in the league. And to go from a lad that he was only training with the first team once a week because of leaving certain till a couple of weeks ago. And you can tell how much sharp, as he was playing well anyway, but you can tell how much sharper and how much he's improved by being in that environment every day of the week now, and with a really good quality first team who clearly put a lot into developing young talent. And as I would argue that they are pound per pound the best academy in the country, because obviously money wise they'll never be able to compete with your Shamrock Rovers, your St Pat's, or even your Cork at academy level. But what they produce, player after player, whether it's Elding, whether it's Conor Reynolds, whether it's Gareth McElroy, and even like the Johnny Kennys in the past, and they'll continue to do so. And I just think it's a great thing for the league that you have obviously that community fan club, and that I think they'll just continue to get stronger. And I think they're going to, as I said last week, Dave, I think they're going to catch Waterford or even Galway get dragged into it. I don't think they're going to finish second last. And
No.
I think it's great for the league that you have a young side that just want to go and play football. And Patrick McLean, brother of James McLean, has been a very, very shrewd signing. He was brilliant last week against Shamrock Rovers, and he was excellent the other night against his hometown club, and scored his first goal for Sligo against Derry the other night. So yeah, he's been excellent for them so far. So probably that mix of experience mixed with them young lads has been perfect. And I have to say the recruitment of Sligo Rovers has been very good, and hopefully they continue to build.
Yeah,
but that John Derry, do you think that's them gone from the title race?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be Bohs chasing them up. Really, Bohs seem to be the only team. The thing with Derry, when they seem to get within touching distance, they just falter constantly, and that's the problem. You've got to be consistent in this game. You know, Rovers consistent at the moment. They're pulling away a little bit. They're not a million miles away. You know, they'll be 5 points. We've still got one game to chat about, but there'll be 5 points minimum. You know, and that's. I always say anything within 10 points is a title race. Although maybe not.
But the only problem is Derry had all the momentum, and all the momentum was on the side, and it looked they're going to kick on, and then they've kind of lost that momentum now with losing the other night.
Yeah, I mean they lost. That's 4. Sorry, in the last 5, they've won 4, lost 1, and you know, and it would have been they could have closed that gap to 3 points. You know, like masters of their own destiny. They could have closed the gap to 3 points, but they have failed to do that. So I think that could be them. But then you never know. Rovers could go on a bit of a bad run, and then Derry put a few games together, and it's back on again. You just don't know. Know. Final game: Waterford 2, Cork City 0. It just goes from bad to worse for Cork City. I don't think. I can't remember what it was when I spoke about it last week. So Cork have gone without a win for how many games? Hold on, let me have a look. 1, 2, 3. They even lost to Celtic, for Christ's sakes, Conor. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. They haven't had a win for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. Their last win was a 2-1 win over Waterford on the 21st of April. That is appalling. They've obviously with the first team with the manager, the first manager to go. It's a really bad one from them. Speaking of the game itself, Sam Glenfield on the 21st, Tommy Lonergan on a 36, pretty much done. And well, actually, I say done and dust. I mean, looking at the stats there, Waterford 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Cork 4 shots on target, no goals, 20 shots. I mean, it's not without, it's not as if they're not trying, but it's just they just can't get it together, and they are in serious trouble, Conor, aren't they? They are starting to. There's a fair old gap now. They were a fair bit ahead of Sligo Rovers. Now they're 8 points adrift of Sligo Rovers.
Yeah, they're really, really, really struggling. They've been so poor. Like, I know they had chances tonight. Steve McMullen had a good game of goals for Waterford, but they were so poor, and you could see it after with the fans running onto the pitch after having to go with players and staff,
Yeah.
which I do think is totally wrong. But I think it's just it shows the heightenment of what is going wrong with that club at the moment, on and off the pitch, whether it's fans, hatred towards the owner, which is a real sad sight, that fans don't want to go to games anymore because of the tickets prices, and ticket prices being so high for really in reality the worst team in the league. And I don't see how they're going to get out of this mess, because maybe they might want to run and win a couple of games, but I just think the gap is going to continue to get bigger, or it'll eventually get big enough that it's too little too late to go
No,
on a
they're
good
done.
run.
They're
Yeah,
done. Mark my words. Cork are gone. They are going to be first division next season.
bold prediction that, but yeah, they're
I'm
just
confident in this one.
they're just quite poor. Like, and it's a pity to see, because in all reality, they should be, if not the biggest club in Ireland, they should be top two, because
Huge club.
they're a massive club. They should have a massive fan base, but you do have a big fan base, but it's just so, there's no, I don't know, there's just no, I don't know what the word is. There's just nothing there. It just seems like there's no passion from the players. I don't know if that's really the word, but there's no real heart to try and get out of this mess, and things just seem to be getting worse and worse on and off the pitch. I don't know how they get out of this mess. I don't think it's even possible at this stage. I'd like to see them get back into it, and we can have a bit of a relegation battle. At last day of the season, we have anyone can win the title on the last day of the season, and anyone can get relegated, which would be the drama we'd love if the league could get any more dramatic. But yeah, I just don't know how Cork. I know they're probably keeping Cahill O'Sullivan until the end of the season, but I don't know if that'll make a huge difference come the end of the year. And they brought in Rory Feely, they brought in Faker Kelleher, but I just don't think it's enough. And I maybe they'll try and invest more, but is investing more going to really get them out of this mess? Because it seems like it's a broken club at the moment, and sometimes when a club is broken, no matter who you bring in on or off the pitch, whether it's unbelievable manager or top class players, it'll be very, very hard to fix. But Waterford, good win for them though. They'll be glad. As obviously Munster is blue until they meet again. And Tommy Lonergan scored absolutely. It was a superb header that he scored. So yeah, it was probably Waterford could do with that win, especially after getting absolutely battered in Derry last week. So John Coleman was happy enough after with his very good person to listen to in his post match speeches.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably the way things are going, Conor. I don't think they will be meeting next season unless they get drawn in Cup. Very bad. Sorry, Bill. I'll be getting a private message from him. Right. Let's have a look at the standings, and then we're going to get out of here. Here we go. Shamrock Rovers, of course, on top of the table. They've played a game more, 49 points. Bohs, game in hand, 41. They can close the gap to 5 points if they get their game in hand. Derry City, third. They have dropped points there. They're on 40 points at the moment. Drogheda in fourth. They've played 25. They are on 38 points. Shelbourne, fifth. 25 games played. They are on 35 points. Pats, sixth. 25 games played, 32 points. They are just, I mean, no league, or them or Shels, really. Absolutely no title push whatsoever. Waterford in 7th have a game in hand. They are on 30 points. Galway 8th. They are on 29 points. Sligo Rovers, they are also in 9th. They are on 23 points. And Cork City, propping up the table, 8 points adrift. They are on 15 points. Right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much, Conor. Thank you very much for watching at home. We'll be live tomorrow. Conor and Martin will be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Conor, tell them a little bit about what we're going to be talking about. What are you going to be talking about?
Hopefully more news will develop by the time we chat tomorrow, but it was just as, because usually this man, Evan Ferguson, obviously, hopefully we'll have more probably inkling in terms of if he's going to sign in the next couple of days, or what's the story, or whether it's going to be a straight loan or straight with an obligation to buy.
No, you're not to talk about Evan Ferguson, because that's copying
other people. No, it's only if you put into a clip, it's copying. And who else? Who else are we talking about? Mark Travers, obviously. Yeah, medical today at at Everton. I'm trying to think of something else, really. Probably lads at the pre-season, because I know people enjoyed the pre-season stuff I put up on all the socials the other day of chatting about, which no one else seemed to copy. But yeah, no, but that, yeah, in fairness, people seem to enjoy that, and it'll be good to chat about lads that, especially young lads that impress in first teams. That could be a sign of what's to come. Across this next couple of weeks, and who possibly could become a first teamer in breakthrough talents as stars, which will be a video we'll be making this week, Dave. Our breakout stars of this season. But yeah, I think that's all I can think of off the top of my head, to be honest. I'm sure someone else will sign somewhere tomorrow by the time we get to 10 o'clock.
And the most important bit is you get to have your say. What do you think about Evan's move to Roma, which looks like it's going to happen? Mark Travers going to Everton. Big mistake, big move, or a big mistake? And of course, there's loads of whatever you want to talk about. That is going to be over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter there. So get involved. We are Irish Football's most interactive podcast. Do not forget that. Right, we're out of here. Thank you very much. I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. This is Lansdowne Roar. You're all very nice. Good luck.